around making sure everything is SAG compliant, because we here at Galaxycon, we are supporting our brothers and sisters in the Screen Actors Guild as well as the Writers Guild, because we want the artists to be paid what the artist is worth. And now, let's start bringing them up to the stage. Our first guest, she is an award-winning actress and model whose body of work includes that show where the teacher does the bad things, that other show about the girl in the apartment, the comic book show, that show where a comic book character from the other show with the other comic book characters from the other shows. Please welcome Krysten Ritter! You were the guest. You're sitting around. Ladies first. You're your choice. Okay, there you go. All right, Krysten Ritter, listen up. And next, he is an actor, director, and producer whose immense credits include The Police Show, the Cockroach Man movie with the guys that wear dark clothes, the War movie, and of course, the comic book shows where he plays the incredibly well-dressed bad guy. Please welcome Vincent D'Onofrio! And finally, he is an actor whose roles include That Bootlegger Show, the movie based on the Neil Gaiman book, and several TV and film appearances as that blind superhero. Please welcome Charlie Cox! Well, hi everybody. Welcome to Austin.
Hi guys.
Oh,
That's it.
all right. I'll be at the table. Have fun. Well, thank you all for joining us here today, and again, always we are fully in support of everyone in SAG and the Writers Guild, and we have your back in that 100%. So, we're the usual stuff, like we all like, oh, how did that project begin for you? And a favorite episode and all that stuff. So, we're just gonna have a little fun, and instead, what are you doing?
So she can see Charlie and stuff.
I'm okay. Thank you.
It's much better, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's good, that's all right. Well, let me ask this, because I've spoken to you on this before, we've hosted before, but I would love to hear how, for each of you, what inspired each of you to pursue the performing arts? What's the origin story?
I started last time.
But yours is so good.
Okay. So I.
Can you tell the bit?
Yeah, I'm going to tell the story. So I was raised partly in a little town in Florida called Hialeah, Florida, and well, thank you, the one. My great grandma's out there, and so I was riding home on my Stingray with the banana seat and the extended forks. And I'm like in elementary school, I guess. And I'm passing by the Winn-Dixie, and I see this couple moving boxes into this little store. And the boxes had like flowers coming out of them and like pictures of rabbits and stuff like that. So I went over, and it was actually a Cuban couple that had moved from Cuba, directly from Cuba to our town. And they were entertainers, it turns out, and they were opening a magic shop in my little town. And I asked them if they needed help being moved in, because I was curious about magic. I'd never actually seen anything, never met a magician other than on like, I'd only seen one on like Ed Sullivan and stuff like that. And so they helped let me move in, and then it started to get a little late, so I rode my bike home and asked my mom if I could finish helping them out, and I did. And while talking to them, while packing the store with their own stuff, I learned their whole story, and I told them I was interested suddenly into magic, and we didn't have very much money. We were very poor, and so the guy, the man used to give me, the magician used to give me instructions instead of, so I didn't have to buy the tricks. He would give me instructions, and I'd go home and I'd build the tricks myself. And I started doing a magic act, and I would do children's parties and things like that. And then my mom was a waitress at a diner, and where all the cops and firefighters used to eat. And so I knew, she introduced me to a couple of cops, and they came over. We had a little kidney-shaped pool in our backyard, which my mom saved for many years to be able to have. And I was 13, I think, and I invited Live at 5 News to come over. And the 2 cops came over and they handcuffed me. I had my neighbors, one guy was a sailboat maker and the other guy was a machinist, and they made me this mail bag that was a copy of Houdini's bag, which the guy who owned the store, he lent me this book, and I read the whole book, and I figured out how to make one of Houdini's tricks, which was the mailbag escape. And so they locked me while Live at 5 was there, up with 2 pairs of handcuffs, put me in the bag, chained it, locked it, and my mom, who I had been rehearsing with for 2 weeks, pushed me in the pool, and I escaped. And I was able to start doing magic acts. And I had a little business going when I was 13. I got very popular, and then I never thought about theater or anything like that. But I did learn one thing: I had no fear on stage. Like, I didn't get nervous on stage. And it wasn't until after high school I hitchhiked with my best friend across country from Miami to San Francisco, and my mother ended up. Just quit. The story gets
I'm seeing what that radio transmission said.
It's the way
Keep
you tell
talking,
them.
keep talking.
And so we can do anything we want. He's gone. Let's do something else. So anyway, I ended up in San Francisco. I had hitchhiked across country, and I heard my sister, who had gone to drama school all the way through high school and stuff like that, was going to New York, and so I ended up joining her in New York, and followed her to an acting school, and started to act. That's how I got drawn.
I'm not following that. Let's have a different question. Mine's not interesting enough.
Okay, so we're moving on, I guess.
You can pass or play, it's okay.
I think
Well, how about-
2 passes.
Okay, well, how about this? For each of you, what's a favorite? Anything you'd like to share with us? Album, cuisine, book, artist. What's a favorite to you that you could share with us?
Just like
And
rapid
give
fire.
something in any category of your choice that's your favorite, and why?
Any category.
Okay, let's pick a category. Right?
Oh,
Food.
wait, if you want food, go ahead.
Yeah, good.
Okay, I like pizza.
What's your pizza?
I like cheese. Cheese pizza. Who doesn't love cheese pizza? I love burritos and hamburgers, and I like pho. I like sushi. Everybody else? Sorry.
Yeah, you've taken all the good ones. Definitely. I love
Ramen.
ramen. Yeah, I love it. So when we were doing
Nothing.
Oh yeah.
You can say the thing.
When we were just hanging out.
We're doing a project.
When we were like hanging out a bit.
What's that?
There was a particular couple of weeks where we were in the same place, and
Where was that?
yeah, and
Was there a company?
across the road was a ramen place, and so we would kind of go almost every day.
Almost every day.
Yeah, and it was like-
Spicy chicken.
but also
ramen.
we were shooting late,
Yeah.
so it was like we'd go at like 11 p.m.
Yeah.
And it was really fun.
We got real into it. They have since
What are
closed.
those buns called?
Char siu bao, pork buns.
Yeah, but they've got a name, like they.
Yeah. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah.
I was right. Thank you.
Great. All right, there you go.
Enough food.
Could we
I
like
think
some
we should-
food?
Okay, all right, all right.
Moving on from
I
food.
like 90s grunge rock. Shocker. That is funny. I just learned how to play Yellow Ledbetter on my guitar.
I recently discovered this thing called hydrofoiling. Does anyone know what that is? It's like a motorized, surfboard, and you have like a controller, and you can right. But they're very.
Rise up.
Everyone comes up out the water, and you go really fast, and you feel like you are really high. Anyway, so it's very hard to find places to do it, but I found there's a guy who does it in Austin, and so knowing I was coming here, I called up this guy, I texted him and said, like, I'm going to be in Austin, can I come and do it with you? So I was on the
I heard that you got a Groupon to do this. Is that true? No.
What is that?
The girls at the airport, they said that, yeah, Charlie found a Groupon. I'm like, Charlie got a fucking Groupon?
I don't know what that is. Do you mean like...
I think Groupon's over, right? They don't do Groupon anymore.
Yeah. No.
Okay. But it's just this thing online, you get coupons.
No, it wasn't a coupon.
For
So
weird
I
experiences.
texted this guy and I was like, can I do it? And so, I've never been to Austin before, so he was like, right, meet me by Walsh's landing dock or something? It's about 10 minutes from where I'm staying, and so I met him there last night, and then just got on this hydrofoil, and I've been doing it a few times, so I can kind of do it now. And so I just fucking flew up the river, looking at all these awesome houses on the river. What's it called, the river?
Lady Burn Lake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's
Why do they call it a lake when it's definitely a river? Like, does
That's
anybody
all the
know?
lakes here. All the lakes are
All
just
the lakes are rivers?
Yeah.
Why don't they call them rivers? Guys, do you know why? Is that so people will buy lake houses?
Any locals actually know? Oh, our red shirt, stand up. Come on, no.
Save Daredevil!
Come on. Okay. What's your name?
My name's Anicia.
Anicia, and do you have the answer to this geographical quandary?
Well, kind of yes and no, but all the lakes in Texas are man-made, so they're all like dammed off rivers. So I guess kind of to differentiate like where the river dams is a lake. But Texas has no natural lakes, they're all man-made. Oh, cool.
Right.
All right.
But still.
Wait.
I have a
You get a piece of
follow-up.
candy for that.
Sorry.
Thank you. Round of applause for that. Thank you.
I have a follow-up.
Wait,
I have a
you got a
follow-up.
follow-up?
I have a
Okay.
follow-up.
Shoot the ball. Come on.
But isn't it true that it comes down to one person who owned the company that was building the lakes to make them look like rivers? And then
But hang on, sorry. If it doesn't eventually go into the ocean, it can't be a river, right? So if presumably it looks like a river because it's long and thin, but
so
actually
there's no
it's a lake.
current. There's no current.
It was so hot in there, I couldn't tell you how warm it was.
The water's really warm.
Oh my God, it was like
And
a
there's
bath.
like billions of turtles.
Oh, really? I didn't
Everywhere
see
you
that.
look, there's like turtles
So it
flying on
seems
top
like
of each
something
other.
weird is happening here. That you can't get, even from this guy who I know really well, I can't get a straight answer.
I think
about
that's it.
whether-
It doesn't eventually. Presumably, it doesn't eventually go into the ocean, so it must therefore be
So
a
there's no
lake.
current. If there's no current, then it's not a river.
It's a river. What river is it? Colorado River. All of it's the Colorado River.
Oh, it is a river.
So why don't they call it a river?
Keep Austin
It's
weird.
dammed into a lake.
Yeah, so
I get that.
like a lake in
But isn't it just a dammed river? Yeah. You know, like that dammed river.
We have no natural lakes in Texas, so we have to have like some kind of, variety.
Okay. I think it's because people want to buy lake houses.
Probably.
Probably. A round of applause for her, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We're all learning a lot today. This is good.
Anyway, I strongly encourage anyone to try hydrofoiling. It's really fun.
Nice. Vincent, you got a favorite, something you want to share?
Puppies. My favorite things in the world. Puppies.
Do you have a puppy?
And not just for Christmas.
No. I don't. I'm gonna get one though.
What kind are you gonna
My
get?
daughter has a puppy, a shepherd. I think I'm gonna get a, what's the British dogs with the round snouts, the curved snouts?
Bulldogs?
The ones that have the kind of odd round snout.
Bull terrier.
Bull terrier. I think I'm gonna get a British bull terrier. I like them. They look like
The Target dog?
mutant mice.
Yeah.
They look, because they look
Patton's dog.
like mutant mice. If you look at them, it looks like somebody.
Not a pit bull.
No. You just said what it was. It's a bull terrier. You want to see a picture?
I have mine.
I'll pull up a picture. All right, one last one for me, and I'll jump in the audience. For each of you, what's a perfect day?
Oh, good question.
The perfect what?
Oh, mine's gonna be so boring.
What's the question?
What's a perfect day? I'm really enjoying a day off. A perfect day is like when my son sleeps till like 7:30. That's pretty good, because otherwise he gets up very early, which means I get up very early. So if he can sleep in, and then I can like snuggle with him for a bit, and then have coffee in bed, and maybe like watch TV, and not have like a ton of stuff to do, that's pretty good. And I like to hang out with my son. He just turned 4. Don't upstage me, Charlie.
It's easy. I mean, it's very similar to Kristen's. I mean, like when all of my children are with me and there's time to just relax and not do much of anything, except for maybe like eat like a big breakfast and then like go to the gym. And like both my sons and my daughter all to the gym. That would be nice, and then come back and maybe see a stupid movie together, and which was made by some stupid company, and then have like pizza. Yeah. And then contemplate why they call rivers lakes.
Charlie's is hydroboiling.
Yeah, it is right now. No, but I mean, it's not really answering the question. But when I was in like my early 20s and a little bit lost, wasn't sure what I wanted to do in my life, and was kind of trying to figure out what I was going to do, especially having not been to like college and didn't have any qualifications or anything. And a friend of mine gave me this task to do. I don't know whether he made it up himself or whether someone had taught him or something. He's so he said, find like an hour or a couple of hours, turn your phone off, and just get quiet for a minute. And when you're ready, without planning it, get out a blank piece of paper and write on the top of the piece of paper, I wake up and, right? And then you have a stream of consciousness. So you haven't planned any of it, but you after you've written I wake up and, you just write for half an hour, your absolutely perfect day, 10 years from today, right? So you've got to imagine you're 10 years later and you're writing your perfect day, and there's much detail, like the smells, as you wake up, the ripples in the curtains, or whatever, anything that comes to mind. And I found it to be a really powerful exercise, and I've always remembered it. But one thing that came out of it, which is surprising, was in my perfect day, it involved me doing a little bit of work. It wasn't a day off, So like some of my favorite days when we're working for one of these stupid companies, some of my favorite days are when you have one scene in the morning and then you're free, and so you've actually got up, you've done something, you've created some art, you've participated, you've been with your colleagues and stuff, and then you go and have lunch and have the rest of the day off and do what you want to do. So
That's nice.
That's nice. I love that exercise.
Before I turn over to audience questions, on behalf of myself and our audience, I do want to say this. I want to thank you all. I want to thank you for your talents and your professionalism and all the performances you brought to all of your roles. It has been a delight to see you guys work, and everything, your collective body work has just been wonderful. This is so enjoyable, and we are looking forward to the next project under equitable terms.
Thank you. Well said.
All right, we have a green X over here, and we'll do a line, we'll do it in this direction, and whoever goes first will get 2 pieces of candy. Come on up here. Hey, what's your name?
Hey, my name's Kevin from Houston. Shoot, kind of a little bit less I'm first. Okay,
What do you want?
alright, so I gotta ask. I'm really sorry they cut your scenes from Dracula, but it was a crappy movie, I'm sorry, so regardless. But okay, I gotta ask. Do you see any parallels between the Kingpin and Dracula, and for you, Miss Ritter? Sorry, brain parts. Between Kilgrave and Daredevil. And I gotta ask Vincent, did Will Smith ever try to punch you during Men in Black?
Okay, there's a lot going on here. There's a multi-part question, so let's pare it down to this. Have you noticed a familiar pattern from roles from one project in comparison to other projects, and perhaps some familiar themes?
Hard question, dude. Like, it's kind of cool, but I don't understand what the fuck you're talking about.
Specifically, because they've got to go to everybody.
For Charlie,
Why don't you start with Charlie?
Okay.
We'll see where we go.
I want to know what you think is, do you find any similarities between Dracula and Kingpin?
Yeah, and they can't talk about that specifically.
I understand that I participated in a movie that I was then removed from.
What idiots?
Huh?
Which Dracula?
He said the name of the title.
Dracula being the great literary character. You know what's really cool?
Oh, I got a residual check from them the other day. I'm not in that movie. Here's what I can tell you is I had quite a funny conversation. I think the guy who directed it is a really lovely guy, but he didn't know how to have this conversation with me. So when he picked up the phone to call me, he hadn't pre-planned how he was going to say it. So as a result, we got like 10 minutes into a conversation before it came out that I was no longer in this film. So, and the conversation went, he was like, so listen, after we like caught up, he was like, the reason I'm calling is, and he didn't know how to say it. So he was like, so we have to do some reshoots on your scene. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So when are we doing them? And he's like, well, we've kind of already done them. Yeah. But then they replaced me with Charles Dance, who's a wonderful actor, but he's also older than my dad.
But also, like, sometimes things like that happen and they don't really matter. Like, it doesn't matter. It hurts in the moment, it's hard, like, obstacles like that happen, but then you, like, keep going. So that's a nice little thing to share with people.
Yeah, and also when that happens to people in life, it almost invariably, there's a swing in the pendulum, and then it's like, it balances out. And I got this phone call while I was visiting a friend in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I was there when I got the call that got the job that was going to define the last 15 years of my life. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we got clear. Thank you, bro. Okay.
Thanks, bud.
Okay, what's your name?
My name's Steven. Okay, so my question is there a particular fandom, unrelated to projects that you've been in, that you geek out about?
Wait, stand up?
Yeah, fandom.
I mean, I'm super into Game of Thrones. Like, and I know. And I mean, I've watched the series in its entirety, start to finish, like more times than I should admit, probably. And then I'll like go deep on like the theories and the shit on the YouTube. So I go pretty hard on the Game of Thrones. Like, I would never even want to be on the show. So, yeah. Did you guys watch that? Okay, it's fun.
Huge.
I'm cool, I swear.
You are very cool. And an incredible actress.
Thank you. Go on. What, can we talk more about that?
I really love Paddington Bear 2.
Yes!
God tell you something, just really quickly. I was on the plane with Vincent yesterday, but we weren't sitting next to each other. And I wanted to like ask the guy if I could sit next to you, but then I didn't know if you wanted to talk to me all the way through the flight, so I didn't ask.
Vincent called ahead to make sure you weren't sitting together.
So Vincent was over there, and I texted him, "What are you gonna watch on the movie?" But as I was sending the text, I looked up and I saw Paddington 2, and I was like, "Oh, I know what I was gonna watch." It's a true story. There you go.
That's my answer.
Hi, what's your name?
Tim Sentence. So regarding the strike, I know generative AI is a big topic related to the strike, and I was wondering, it could be related to your career or just life in general. Like, what excites you about it, and what kind of fears do you guys have around generative AI?
You may pass or play on that question.
I think it's really, personally, I think it's really misunderstood. I think that if AI is used as a tool, and if it's a particular project, and every department involved in that project has a human being who has a heartbeat and breath. And most of the people we work for don't have heartbeats and breaths. And if those people are running the departments, and one of those departments is an AI department, as long as it has a heartbeat and the breath behind it, I'm okay with that. If it doesn't have some kind of creative entity that is running that AI, then I have a problem with that. I think that that's where we run into danger. It's because amazing art can be created by AI. It can be used as a paintbrush and a palette, but you need an artist behind it, and that's the main thing. And as long as it doesn't get abused in any other way, then it's fine. Obviously, since the beginning of time, we started drawing pictures on walls and caves and started grunting in front of fires and telling stories. And eventually, theater and then film, you cannot stop technology. Whatever the fuck you try, however the fuck you try, you can never stop it. Can never stop it. And some of technology creates this real big heap of nonsense. And that nonsense makes tons of money. But then there's this other heap that's actually creative and lovely and unique in so many ways and keeps becoming unique over and over again. That's the good stuff. And it makes as much money as the other, but the other makes, a heap of garbage is being piling up. AI, if left to it, is gonna make that heap bigger, and lots of people are gonna make tons of money, but there will always be actors and financiers and directors and producers that live in this other pile of stuff. And that stuff is legit, and that's the kind of stuff I'm always going to be involved with, and I hope people that come after me are going to feel the same. But you can't stop it.
Thank you. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Charlie.
What's up, Charlie?
I just want to know if you have a favorite Marvel character other than the one you play.
No. I'm totally joking. Well, my favorite Marvel character is Daredevil. Who now could be named Charlie in real life?
I'm a big Spider-Man fan. As are you, I can see, Charlie.
You got one?
My favorite Marvel character is Jessica Jones.
Charlie, who's some of your favorites?
My favorite character is Moon Knight.
Nice.
You get 2 pieces for that. Great question. Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thanks, Charlie.
Hey, what's your name?
Hey, my name's Ozzy. Well, as much as I'm a big fan of comic books, media, I'm also a big fan of the anime, manga franchise as well. I was very curious if you guys had like a favorite anime or manga that you loved watching or reading, see what you can recommend.
This is when I wish my son was sitting next to me.
What is that second word you were saying?
It,
Yeah.
Yeah, and anime is the animation, manga is the original comic book versions from Japan.
Assuming you guys,
I don't know.
That's pretty much your answer.
Real quick, what's your favorite? Give us a quick.
if there's one that I really recommend you guys watch, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Okay, cool.
Congratulations. All right, thank you, Ben.
I like the first two words of that.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Joey. So I just wanted to know, like, outside of acting and whatever else you do, what's your favorite hobbies? What do you all like to do in free time?
I have a lot of hobbies. I do a lot of knitting and crochet, and I make knitting kits. Charlie knows how to knit. I taught him.
There's an iconic photo of me in a particular suit.
Yep.
Knitting.
Yep. And you actually made something kind of good.
I made two things.
Two things, right? Sorry, two. And then I also play guitar, and I grow vegetables in my backyard. I get like super into hobbies. Yeah, I have a lot of them.
I love circus stuff. So-
What?
Circus.
Circus?
Yeah, so I was in a little circus when I was younger. Did I not tell you that?
Why does this seem like you're lying?
I'm not. So I have unicycles at home.
Oh, they're not wrong.
And that's cool. I do a lot of slacklining. Do you guys know what slacklining is? So I've just been teaching my daughter how to do it. She's really into it.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, so I love all circus stuff and acrobatics and that kind of stuff. I never really got good at it, but there was a point where I could get on a slackline for a minute on a unicycle.
Wow.
I was a little younger. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
I mean, that's what they do at the circus. I do. I like horses. I've been a horse rider for a long time. I like that. What else? I like to teach. I teach a lot, but I don't get paid for it. So it's, I ask not to get paid for it. Instead, I'm allowed to give scholarships away at NYU and at Strasberg Institute. But I teach. I love that. And it doesn't sound like a hobby, but it actually is kind of a cool hobby. And yeah. And I, you know, being a dad with a bunch of grown-up kids, you know, you kind of share hobbies with them just so you can hang out with them.
Like what do you guys do together?
Well, we like scuba diving. We like anything with a beach, and stuff like that. But I would say these days, I'm trying to expand on the horse thing because I live in New York, so it's tough. But I'm actually looking at houses in Austin.
By a lake or
See me on the sidewalk somewhere. I'm probably living there now.
Great question, thank you. Hi, what's your name?
Sigrid? Hi. I just want to know if there's a specific type of story or genre that you find most meaningful to be a part of.
Anything written well.
I love dad jokes. I love dad jokes.
Oh, wait, okay, what you got?
So I'm reading a horror book in Braille right now, and something awful is going to happen. I just know it. I can feel it.
That's great. You get 2 pieces for that. That's great. Hi, what's your name?
What is one book that you guys want to read or something that's on your TBR that you haven't touched yet?
It's clearly you.
Well, I was just picturing my bedside table. I just have like a whole moment. My bedside table now versus my bedside table before I had my child. Now it's like, you know, the adventures of Sicker Boober. And how to not have boobies at nighttime. Like the whole, all of those little kids' books versus like the cool thrillers I used to read. Anyway, so I just enjoyed that moment privately. Yeah, I don't know.
There's a very cool book out there, I don't know if you've ever come across it, called Bonfire. Have you know about that? Do you know who wrote it?
Thank you, Charlie. Charlie, you actually did read my book, and I have a picture of that as well. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I'm afraid we are just about at time, and that is unfortunately our last question. Any parting thoughts before we take
I
a
just
leave?
need to quickly shout out to the Stardust guys now. That's awesome.
Any final words before we take our leave?
I
Usually I ask people if they have anything to plug,
So
but
we don't get sweets?
what's that? Okay, you really want one? Okay, what color you want? Well, no, I should give you red.
I'll just say thank you guys so much for coming. I know it's really weird that
thank
we
you
can't
guys.
talk about the projects that you're probably here to talk to us about. So thank you so much for coming to see us, and we're so grateful. Do I get one?
The folks that I'm meeting at the table. Did you not want to get one?
What's the deal with getting reservations in Austin? Apparently that's like a thing.
I think it's because it's Labor Day.
It's because assholes like you are moving here. So everybody like wants to get in, and the town can't handle like all the people moving here. So there's only like 5. Here's the thing that's so great about Austin. It's a small little city. So there's only like 5 things, and everybody wants to do those like 5 things. So it's busy. Did I do that right? Yeah. And that's why there's so much traffic all of a sudden. I think I'm an expert because I was here for filming one show. Okay, thank you.
All right.
I just want to say that I've been hearing such wonderful stories at the table when I'm signing stuff. People are just extraordinarily sweet and kind, and it just means, I know it means a lot for all 3 of us that you're here and that you support us, and that I've said this many times with Charlie that one of as artists we look for inspiration constantly, and the fact that you're so enthusiastic about this stuff that we do, and when we're doing it and how we're doing it, that you have to know that inspires us so much.
Yep.
And we thank you for that.
Austin Galaxycon, this has been Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Krysten Ritter.
Thanks, guys.
That was our time.